I had a call and then I put up my papers, and there was a big struggle, I can say, initially, because when you have a proper job and then you quit that and then you decide to be an artist. So initially there was a lot of work, a lot of hard work, commitment, of course, all combined with passion. And it was a step by step journey, and I decided to go by it. That's how I'm here today. I think I must have spent around 15 plus years now in this journey.
Hello, Sangeeta ma'am. First of all, thank you so much for taking out of your time for us, and welcome to the Message Podcast Show. So today we will do a very deep conversation, and we'll ask you some questions as well. But before moving to questions and some other topics, I would like to know about your journey. As usually we start with the journey part with every artist. So I think everyone wants to know your journey as well. So please, ma'am.
Okay, so first of all, thank you for inviting me on this platform. And I think it's a very good idea to converse and reach out to so many people through this medium. And to begin with, like you want to know about my journey, I feel it's a very interesting work, what I've done. It's an interesting journey which, I have gone through, because initially I never thought that I'll be an artist. No, my education has been like I've done post graduation in chemistry and B.Ed. I did. I was teaching and I was a principal in an army school. But somehow I felt, in my life, I felt that there was something missing. I had to work in boundaries, and there was no freedom to my thoughts, what I wanted to do. So this was one medium. Like when I explored this, I felt that this is what I had a call, and then I put up my papers, and there was a big struggle, I can say, initially, because when you have a proper job and then you quit that and then you decide to be an artist. So initially there was a lot of work, a lot of hard work, commitment, of course, all combined with passion. And it was a step by step journey, and I decided to go by it. That's how I'm here today. I think I must have spent around 15 plus years now in this journey.
So, ma'am, as I already know that you are a professional artist and has more than 15 plus experience in this art field. So, my first question is to you that what does it mean by a professional artist? Because I saw many artists out there who think that they are professional, but they are not a professional in some manner. So, how and when we can say someone a professional?
Okay, so being a professional, of course, as the name suggests, professional, you are committed to your profession. That is the first and the foremost thing. So for any artist, be a fine artist or a musician or a dancer, no, you have to have the commitment to your profession, whatever way you are doing it. No, so like I said, I was a teacher first, I was a principal, and my journey was totally different. Now I am a professional artist, so I had to actually go through all that what every artist goes through. I had to have a small learning initially to refine my skills of because no, you can learn teaching, you can learn through teaching you can learn art, drawing, painting and all, no? But of course, as a profession, how you have to take forward your journey, how you have to create, no, that is a different thing. So in terms of fine art, I would say that professional artist needs to be producing a body of works, showing it to the public, firstly. And also it's very important that no, you don't just show whatever you create. So it's a journey, you are creating, you are learning yourself, you're making mistakes. There are so many things in that journey. But then whatever you feel finally is good, then you're showing it through your shows, through your galleries. No? That's how you go about it. Plus, also I feel it's important to document your work, whatever achievements you have, got in your span of your artistic journey. You need to document everything. You need to compile, you need to photograph your works, you need to present them in a proper manner. You have to have your shows, your solo shows, take part in group shows. So you have to reach out to people basically. So the more and more you are out in public, the more people get to know. That's how you will be showing your commitment towards your profession.
Yeah. And I saw many artists out there also who are good at watercolor or acrylic, abstract, and different kinds of mediums, but they really don't know the difference between fine artist and mixed media artist. They are mixed media artists, but they think they are fine artists. So, what is the difference between fine artist and mixed media artist? Because it's a very major
Well, in
question.
my opinion, also, nee, that is there. But even in my opinion, I think we have as artists, we have the liberty to be doing whatever wish to. Like it is, we are creating. So whether we create in mixed media or fine art, if you're just restricting yourself, fine art includes photography, fine art includes sculpture, fine art includes painting. So now, supposing I'm doing painting, so if I want to use so many other mediums in my painting, that's perfectly fine. So, like I can be called as a mixed media artist also. Like in some of my works also, I have used few threads somewhere, sometimes some safety pins, and also it's not just about paint. You want to explore, you want to experiment, whatever your thoughts are, you have to come out with it. No, so it's perfectly fine to be a mixed media artist also. And because these days, I feel initially, I think if you talk about 30 years back, people were restricted to one kind of work, like even if it is just painting, so it was purely painting only. But nowadays, the generation, the new ones are really
Yeah, has
experimenting.
been
They are
changed.
putting in so many, you are even making collages.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So, and as you know, that just because of lack of guidance and knowledge, many people are often struggling with they really don't know the options available, the scopes, basically, in art stream. So my
Haha.
question is to you that what are the options available if anyone wants to pursue art as a career? So what are the options available right now in this era if anyone wants to pursue art as a career?
Okay, so if you want to pursue art as a
Sorry, I
career, see,
interrupted you.
firstly,
Uh,
yeah.
I know it's a very broad
Huh?
subject, and we will do a detailed podcast for it. Say about
Yeah,
anything
yeah,
you
sure,
want.
sure. So, see, if someone who has decided to take art as a career, first of all, like he or she is a very clear person that they want to create something. The creativity is what they enjoy foremost, no, and then simultaneously money also comes in. But to make a career in art, and you also have to be very clear that you have to be making a living out of your art, no. It's not just by just creating only. So you have to pay your bills, you have to look after your family. There are so many other things like any other human being. So you have to you have to first question yourself, what are you looking at that stage of life. See, if you're just purely wanting to be a freelance artist, I would say it's a little tough initially, because if you just decide that in freelance artist, what you're doing, you are just creating your body of works, and then you're presenting it to public. Now, whether public wants to buy or not, now that's a big question. So if they are selling their works now, if they sell, if they are buying your works, it's not necessary every month you are going to be selling your works. So that financial income, financial stability has to be there. So what I would recommend, like if you're just wanting to be a freelancer, you should have a small backup plan, maybe to supplement your, because you can have a support system maybe for some time, but to continuously hone your skills, continuously keep working, it needs a lot of money. So it's always better to have a backup support also. Plus there are even options like you can get into a 9 to 5 job as well. There are web designers, there are there are creative directors, there are design houses. So a lot of people, a lot of students from College of Art, they work there as well, and whatever time they have, they spend in creating their artworks. Plus there's a teaching job also. So you can teach, and then in your free, like even for me as well, like I have learned my like, as I said, I'm not from a College of Art. I was I then actually I learned art under Mr. Rameshwar Bhuta at Triveni Kala Sangam. So I was very fortunate to be under him. So but then those 5 years when I was actually learning, 5 to 6 years, it was a total commitment just to learn and create, no. But when you come out after that, you need a financial support. I mean, even during that time or post that also, you need a financial backup, no. So I started teaching. So now I was teaching to students in my own studio. People would come, and like in this pandemic now, suddenly what happened? We all, art is the last thing people would come out to buy. So all these one has to be actually prepared for very unfortunate events also. So I think my backup plan of teaching has really come up well. Like I'm doing online classes. I have through my medium of classes, I'm able to nurture so many students. So many adults have also joined my classes. I've been able to reach out globally. People from far and wide, different US, UK, Australia. I mean, I have students all over as well as India. So that way, it's a very good backup plan. Plus, I spend about 2 days in teaching, and 5 days I'm spending in my studio creating my art. So it gives me the freedom. So any sort of a finance is needed to be free in your work. Otherwise, you will get the frustration comes in. You will not be able to give in your full energy towards your work. No. So all these things one has to keep in mind, and I think everyone has to decide what they want to supplement their thoughts of just being an artist. How to do it.
Yeah. So, may you tell us a little about Swarm Kala Academy, as you said earlier?
Uh,
What is that?
this is Triveni Kala Sangam. About this, you want to ask?
Triveni
Yeah. This is Triveni Kala Sangam in Delhi. It's in fact it's near Connaught Place, India Gate. It's a hub of Kala. You can say there are artist studios. It has art galleries, 3 very good art galleries, and amphitheater, open air. Then we have studios there, and then people come to learn music, dance, and all, even art. So I joined there in 2004 or 2005, I think. Yeah, 2005 to 2010, almost 6 years I was there. So it gave me a very good, I think, that my learning there. I mean, every day we would see the exhibitions happening there, then working there in studios under a very senior, very renowned artist, Mr. Bruta. So, and then we had a very good environment there to actually where you could nurture your art. So I feel that was a very good point in my life, that way how I got exposed to what is art, and not just making beautiful paintings. No.
And ma'am, as many artists really don't know about their art style, actually they are good in different kinds
Uh-huh.
of medium. So as we all know that our medium and art style are 2 different things. So how someone can find their own art style?
Well, that's a very interesting question, because it is not so easy to get a style of your own. Firstly, like you all, there are so many hobby artists. You can learn painting, you can learn drawing, you can improve your skill so much. But to have a style of your own, it really needs a long time, I would say. Because for me also, like I can just explain about myself. I can't talk about others because everyone has their own journey. So I, like when I started, initial 5 to 6 years I spent in honing my skill. I learned, like I said, I was to go to Triveni. Of course, that was a process of, understanding, creating your compositions, doing the basic work, no, and trying to understand. But in those 5 years, I could not, come through a particular style of my own, because I was, wanting to just experiment with everything, whatever was coming across, whatever you get inspired. Sometimes you go and see some other artist's works and you feel influenced and you want to do that. Or sometimes, some thoughts come. So, but I think coming to a particular art style needs constant work. Constantly, you have to keep experimenting, evolving. You have to be in your studio day in, day night work, and then your process of work slowly guides you into a style. Like sometimes you may feel that you want to do this or that, but finally your style is what speaks about your personality, how you evolve over the years. Like for me, I will just say that like 6 years back, 7 years back, I mean, like my journey is just around 15 years. So around 7, 8 years just went by in exploring everything. Then slowly, like earlier, I used to do very plain compositions, the plain textures, hardly using anything in the background. Of late, by working for over the years, I realized I love to, apply textures. I love the different, colored mediums, which are just peeping out through the different layers. So I love layering. So that is how, I'm trying to explore and develop my style. I love surrealism in my work. So something which someone sees and they should actually think, not just say, oh wow, it's a beautiful painting. I want someone to actually go deep, dive into it, understand. So that's how, like, what you want, you are trying to show, and it comes out in your style of work. So it takes years, I would say. And then definitely, even then once you have your style, learning, evolving is a continuous process, I would say.
And ma'am, as we all know that the very major problem right now we are facing
Yeah.
as an artist in India, because as we all know that art is not a respectable profession as much comparison to other profession, like if we talk about engineering, doctor, accountant, and some other professions. So my question is to you that what are the possible ways through which we can solve this problem? I know it's a very big problem and we have to do something big, but I want answer from you.
Yeah, so see, actually, it is very true that it's not very easy to be an artist, firstly, and we all understand that, and that is why society, as a societal pressure, parents also normally don't want their children to be, pursuing art and going in that line. So, as a society, I feel, firstly, this has to be tackled at the grassroots level. कि आप for the, like, even in school curriculum, if we can introduce artworks, the life history of some renowned artists and all, no? So then children are exposed to at that level. So I feel educating is very important, firstly, because up at that level you reach, and then you are totally not sure what is all art about. So why will a person buy art unless he can connect to it? So I feel it's very important, because whatever sales I have done in my small journey in my life, I feel most of the buyers, they connect to my work when they feel that some emotions are there, they have a connection in the work. So for that to arouse that in any human, they have to have a basic understanding of what is art about, no? So, like, I would also like to tell that, like, I remember an incident. This is about 2007. I was exhibiting in Ashoka Hotel, and there was a conference going on there, huge banquet hall. They had a a lot of people just walked out, and my show was there in a lobby, and I was just sitting, and so I overheard some people. They just walked in towards the lobby area where the show was going on, and one of them, there were few of them, and one of them said, "अरे ये तो exhibition लगा है ना, paintings का exhibition." So the other person said, नहीं वहाँ नहीं जाते हैं, कुछ समझ ही नहीं आएगा क्या है, So like when you hear this from the normal public, they get intimidated कि भाई what is art? They are not able to understand, they are not able to connect. So obviously then I feel at a grassroots level, as it should be introduced in the curriculum, firstly. And secondly, the government should come out with more museums, public art spaces. Like, if the more art goes out to the public, people will be seeing. That's how they appreciate it, no? Plus, we don't have so many museums also in our country. Like, very restricted. Delhi mein hardly this National Museum is there, and then Modern Gallery of Art. So that way, I mean, we need more institutions, no? So for people to go more towards art. These are the few points, I mean, like, which comes to my mind, yeah.
And recently, an incident happened with me. Actually, I saw some professional works to my known ones, and I just asked them for the price, and the price was 300 rupees. उन्होंने बताया, मतलब वो 3 फ्रेंड्स थे, एंड आई वाज शॉक्ड टू नो कि हाँ 300 रुपीस एक ऐसे प्रोफेशनल वर्क है. सो व्हेन आई told them the listing price of that particular artwork, that was nearly about 1,50,000 approx. So they said इससे कौन खरीदेगा 1.5 लाख रुपए का, मतलब हमने तो 300 रुपए की जो है वो लगा. तो इट्स तो ये बहुत अच्छा नहीं लगा सुन के. तो my question is to that why an artwork is to be an expensive, and I think we must have answered this question, because people are not aware that how an artwork or an artist create an artwork, through which process, and why an artwork is to be an expensive.
Okay, so yeah, so of course art paintings are expensive. Like I said, general normal public are not aware about the process, how art is created, what they are seeing. Like, if they visit a gallery, if they are just seeing an artwork, they don't know the history behind it, what all has gone behind creation, no? So firstly, To be honest, creating art is itself is very expensive. Art materials, you see what you're buying, once you're creating that. Plus, as an artist, I feel you need a studio space to create your work. You need to, you need to spend on, you have your bills other than that on electricity and various things like, as an artist, as you're growing, you're learning how to do that. So now all that, and then apart from that, once you create art, there is a system of, presenting it to the public. Then again, like I will just give you an example from my side. Like I'm going to give you examples from my own journey only. So I had a very nice big show in 2012 that was in Delhi Visual Arts Gallery. So I'm saying big because it's one of the biggest gallery in India, Visual Arts Gallery in New Delhi. And the same show I took to Jahangir Art Gallery in the month of November 2012. October I had here and there. So the two shows which I did, it costed me around, just presenting the show, it costed me around 3 lakhs. Now, no one will know or understand as a lay person that there are so many expenses behind putting up a show. Right from, like, firstly, it's a body of 3 years work, like 2009 to 10 to 2012. For a big solo show, I had to, stock my works. I did not sell them during that time. So, your 3 years of work, then you photograph your works, you get your works framed, then you are making a catalog, you go to a printer, you make catalogs of your works, you hire a PR person for the exhibition, then you are you meet a curator. So incidentally, I had a very one of the best curators whom I worked with for that show. So you have a curator working with you. Then the gallery charges are so high, exorbitant, when you have to exhibit that, so those things. Then then you have an opening party. So there are so many additional expenses just in presenting your show to the public. So it's not that, just you are creating, you are doing so much more in addition to just making an art, And then like this show went to Jahangir Art Gallery, so I had to get the works packed up again, got the crates made, transportation of the works there. Then again, the same system of gallery charges, opening party, everything there. So I mean to say, to present your works here and present works there, or you can say anywhere in public, it needs a lot of expenses. So that is just the incurring expense. Now, once someone buys your art, then you are going to get your returns too. So it's a sum total of so much of effort, so much of money already spent in, and that's how paintings are, I would say that's why they're a little expensive.
I think now it has been clear to everyone after watching this podcast. And one more questions to you, that most of the artists struggle when they want to sell their works. I'm just talking about intermediate artists. I'm not talking about the famous or a professional one. So my question is to that, how to present our works in front of the buyer, because as we know that people are not aware of it. So how an artist can present their works?
Well, that's a very good question, because see, whenever you are wanting to present your works in front of the buyer, you have to be very sure of what you are showing. So firstly, you have to define like whatever works you have created. Out of that, not every work will be good. Like over the years, I've realized you want to experiment, explore, but not everything you want to show everywhere. So firstly, and then the next important thing is you photograph your works well. They have to be, because what you spend so much of time, almost 1 month, 2 months, whatever time, it depends on every artist to artist. So you spend so much of time in creating that body of work, but they need to be photographed well. They have to be actually photographed. So once that is to be done, then apart from that, you have to take part in various shows now everything is going online. So with the present system, I think it's very easy for people to show their works online through social media, through Instagram, through Facebook. A lot of artists are doing that also. But other than that, there is a process of taking part in group shows. You take part in the national events. There's a national Lalit Kala Academy. It holds annually. We have a show there. So if your work is selected, like my work got selected in 2012 there. So, then your work is, then you're considered as a serious artist. Firstly, you have to show that you are a serious artist. Also, by creating, what you're doing. So that is how the process is. So you have to be very clear how you present your works. You have to document your work. You have to catalog your works. No? So all this is all the various steps.
Okay, ma'am. So it's nice talking to you, ma'am, and hope we will do a more podcast in future. And at last, what's your piece of advice for our young generation artists?
Well, yeah. So for young generation, of course, see, I think these days children are very smart. They have got so much of exposure that they are very clear in their mind that what they want to do, what how they do. In fact, I have recently seen on Instagram. I won't say artists, but they are more like artists only, because the way they are coming up with the videos, the way they present the things, like even if it is a fashion blog or anything, the generation is way too fast and way too smart. But of course, my piece of advice would be that you have to follow a path. Don't look for shortcut firstly, because this is the time like to have your works matured and all. There is a process. You cannot. There are no shortcuts. You feel just working by 1 year, you can start exhibiting and start going across. So it's a process, small process, or you can say it's a big process. But still, you have to actually go and abide by it, be passionate about your work, go into it, then only you can give your 100%. Like unless you are passionate, you cannot give your 100%. So be passionate, work hard, be smart enough to see how things are working, no? Because these days things are changing so fast, the way things are happening. You have to be, in that, to be in that race, you have to know what all is happening all around.
Yeah, you have to be
Yeah,
updated by changing.
definitely. Like for me, I'm saying when you approached me for a podcast, I knew there was a podcast, but I was not very much sure about the Spotify channel. So like for us also, it's a learning. No, the new generation knows. So we have to also keep pace with whatever is happening in the new pace. No, with that you have to keep coming up. No.
Okay, so again, thank you so much, ma'am, for being on the
Yeah.
Destiny show, and hopefully we will meet
Yeah,
soon.
it was a pleasure for me also to interact with you, and I'll be happy that people will be able to hear what I said. They will take some takeaway from my journey of art. Nice talking to you.
Yeah,
Bye bye.